Well, currently the series is split 1-1 right down the middle. It was a convincing performance from eUnited, who didn't overpass up the opportunity to take map number 1. And then we saw nuclear domination from Kinguin in that second one. Now we have to see who's going to be taking that cash money in map number 3 risk. How you feeling?
Cash rules everything around me, you know? Cream, money. Get the dollar bill, y'all.
Yeah, but yeah, it sounds good. But I'm excited. Kinguin, they sort of gave us a taste of what this team has to offer just now in that previous map. They looked good. eUnited stepped things up as well, though. I'm excited. I feel like we have both these teams kind of nearing their like 100% as we head on through to this third map, and that is going to make for one hell of a decider.
Definitely. Both maps, or both teams pretty good on this map, around the 50-60% mark in win rate. Have big losses and big wins. I think the one to point out was the game that Kinguin had against Red Reserve. 16-3 that one was. Yeah, an interesting one to start us out on. The question is for me, can Ace step up and deliver the same performance as he just did on Nuke?
Yeah, actually, let's quickly revisit that, but we'll just quickly take a look at the odds that were just up on screen.
153 for Kinguin.
Like, yeah, it seems like people are leaning slightly more towards Kinguin than they are eUnited. I think that's to be expected, especially when you have names in there like Taz. But yeah, no, I mean, for me, the X factor over on eUnited is going to be one of two people. Either we're going to see Ace land some just unreal shots with the AWP once again and keep building that form up, or maybe we're going to see Dazzle continue his just utterly spectacular form from sort of the second half of that Nuke map. He was kind of one of the guys who was really doing I mean, everywhere it was, it felt like he got 2 kills before he went down. And if you can have someone who does that consistently, then you're on to a winner.
Yeah, definitely. He's one of those players. It's kind of like the same as Olofmeister in some sense. Like, you don't really see all his frags, but all of a sudden the game is over and he has 30 of them. Because constantly he's just very good at getting a frag here, a frag there.
Are you like mimicking that old like copy paste? Even like, you know, you don't remember a single Olaf frag, but well, you do remember I don't know, like a Dapper frag.
Oh, of course, yeah.
I remember Dapper having his knife out a lot and dying, but still, you know, selective memory and whatnot. eUnited over on the T side and Kinguin on the CT side. Let's get into map number 3. The loser of this, their journey at DreamHack Open Montreal comes to a close. So it is very much all on the line. Both these teams have so much to prove. And it looks like this bomb site going to be the first point tested here for Kinguin. As they try and hold this defense, they manage to. Reach now desperate to buy some time for rotations, but the rotations have been severed. Everyone's gone down as Relics and Dapper light up the scoreboard, and Taz, the old dog of eUnited, of Kinguin rather, left in a 1v3.
Old dog indeed. Can he show some new tricks? That's the question here. Really nice take over the side in general by the T side. 3 frags for Dapper. Has been looking good.
Well, Taz, he's managed the first. Dapper and Relics left to deal with. He's wrapping around from behind. There, he spots them out. Almost finds that as well. Taps on the bomb knife. That one, Taz is going to find the 1v3, picks up a kit as well, and it's going to come down to the wire, but he's got enough time to get it. Kinguin find the pistol round. Taz, my goodness.
That is so smart. He knows that the smoke is down, so he goes for the click on the bomb, then he rotates away. When he hears the knife, he just spams the position. Perfectly played by Taz, and who else but him? Kills Dapper in the end and wins that pistol. 1v3.
Yeah, I think I got the letters mixed up. It's not Old Dog, it's Old God right now over on the side of Kinguin. As Taz cements the pistol out, gets them off to a great start. And that's also going to kind of maybe peel away from some of the momentum eUnited started to pick up towards the end of Nuke. Pretty devastating loss to have. It was a 3v1 for them.
They had post-plan. They had everything going. Oh, that's a strong nade.
That's devastating. That's the 2 people with rifles as well. Brought down to their knees almost immediately. You have one other guy with armor in the form of Dazzle, so maybe if you're Ace or Moose, you think about throwing one of these rifles over to him right about now.
Yeah, you couldn't really have asked for a better nade, to be honest. Rallen. Gonna see them mid. Rotate back and just hold for now. Not gonna push out aggressively anywhere. Secondary smoke lands. He spots one. That's a nice shot from Dazzle, though. Deagle magic as the B push comes in. It's gonna be the split. Mouse is here with the MP9. Anti-flash not good enough, but Rietz picks up 1, picks up 2, and the 3rd as well. But now 2v2. MP7 and M4A1S against 2 AKs. all on Taz in this situation. I feel like Minis is going to have a hard time unless he gets a free frag here. And he will just find him, but not in time. And surely there's no way he's going to win this duel now. Taz 1v2 once again.
Yeah, I mean, they've asked Taz to clutch it once. Surely he cannot do it twice. This man, he has been tested time and time again today. Taz, the bomb ticking down. He does have a kit to work with it. He's waiting ever so patiently, hoping that Dazzle gets curious, and Dazzle does. Curiosity killed the cat, but Dazzle's fared well, and the mouse fares even better. It's Moose, rather. But eUnited going to be finding that round there. They answer straight back.
A lot of animals in that sentence.
There was arguably too many. But, I mean, yeah, there was one too many. But good round regardless. eUnited getting the job done with the investment there. 2 rifles bought up. That was it. Armor as well on Dazzle.
Good old Razzle Dazzle.
He's been stepping up for them. Been very impressed with him thus far.
Him and Dapper are always 2 players who have that X-Factor potential, just as Rallen, I feel like on Kinguin. Like some games, they just step up and change the whole thing. But it's not as consistent as you would potentially want them to be. So you kind of have to cherish the moment when you have it. When you have that stellar performance coming in from either one of those 2 players.
Yeah, I mean, plus you kind of look at like a team like eUnited over in NA, and with all kind of the turmoil going on at the top, up at the tier 1 right now, the upper echelon, you have like kind of Cloud9 hit and missing here and there, a few other acquisitions yet to be made or things solidified. And there's a lot of potential, right, for some of these guys to move up the food chain very, very quickly if they show their worth.
Exactly.
And these sort of events, these DreamHack Opens, they're perfect for that.
NRG, a team you can mention as well.
Yeah.
United alongside them. Liquid, I think, without a question, are the best North American team right now. But that secondary place, after eUnited took Cloud9 down in that Chicago qualifier, I think it's in question now. Who's that secondary North American team? Have to wait and see. eUnited could pull out some big numbers here.
Sadly, this round, we don't get to see anything from Taz, Risk.
Oh.
He's gone down almost immediately over towards A. It's been a pleasure watching him in the last few, but he does not get to don his clutching shoes anymore.
But then again, this round in general was always going to be a little bit rough for them. They're up against 4 AKs and then MAC-10, and they only have pistols.
Yeah, that is a very rough round, in all honesty. That's not one you expect them to be winning. It's going to be United taking a quick second here as Ace now goes on the hunt.
And that's fine. As long as they bring the 4 AKs in, he can pretty much throw away that MAC-10. 3 frags with it, so it's definitely been its weight worth in gold with that extra money bonus when you get a kill. 2-1 is going to be the score, but it's not going to be the buy just yet. For Kinguin, they're going to have another set of pistols now. So an opportunity for eUnited to just grind it together a few rounds, just get a solid lead going, build some economy, feel more comfortable, kind of feel out what Kinguin are going to do on this map here. It's looking like we could go for a very close game here on Cash.
Oh, I think most definitely. These 2 teams have shown that both of them, when they're feeling 100%, when they have the momentum behind them, could just smite down the other, and I think it's all going to collide and reach its apex here on Cash. It's already been very back and forth. We're already 4 rounds in.
I'm very interested in the decision-making behind Ace buying an AWP in a round that should, based on the economy information they have so far, that he knows should be a low-buy round for Kinguin. Taz coming in with 1 onto Dazzle, and now Ace gonna boost up a teammate. Let's see if they're gonna make it in time. Nope, they're not gonna peek for it. Moose had the chance there of going out and playing aggressive, but he took the more conservative role and waited back. Don't want to commit too much to the mid presence.
Yeah, we have Dapper trying to keep their attention over here towards B, and it looks like it's working for the time being. They've rotated 3 players this way, leaving 1 man behind to keep an eye on this A bomb site and mid, and that man is going to be Taz. He's showing to be more machine than man, at least in these last few rounds, but even they can be bested. Relic's able to find it. Maz immediately answers back, and this round suddenly now gets called into question for United. This is not one that they should be losing, and they know it, so they're going to look to try and hold on. Maybe they do. There's Moose to go ahead and finish off Mouse. That will be United locking in a third, but they only keep 2 players alive.
Yeah.
I think they even lose the AWP. I'm not sure if it got retrieved at the end there.
I don't think so. And that's, to be honest, compared to the investment of Kinguin, that's a pretty good round for them. 3 kills, take the AWP away. Only a few pistols invested, and now they can get the full buy going. And this is going to be the key round for deciding the momentum for the beginning of this first half. This round right here. We're also going to get our first taste of how Meniz likes to play the CT AWP on Cash. And how they want to take this mid-control. CT side playing very aggressive for mid-control to begin with. As we do see the odds, they're almost equal, Harry. There's not a lot between them right now.
No, there is definitely not. I think there's probably some of the closest odds we've seen thus far. This is it. This is where we get our first taste for how this game's going to play out. Rifles on rifles. Meniz, as you say, bringing out that AWP. I'm excited to see how he elects to play with it. He's over here towards B right now, but maybe about to go toe-to-toe. Dapper, missed shot from both players. Ace going to get tagged down in the meantime elsewhere. It's a slow start from eUnited. Gradually, it looks like they're going to turn their attention over here towards middle.
One thing to keep in mind as well is the economy of both teams here. If Kinguin loses this, they're going to be straight back onto pistols, or an eco, if you will. eUnited, they can still afford to rebuy if they lose this round. Meniz so close to finding another opening. That's his second shot of the round. Mouse, though, holding down the fort. We'll get one, but that's all. Riyadz now has to do the exact same thing here on the bomb site itself, but they're not going in just yet.
Well, so many players about to come his way, but Meniz is here to help out. Reitz does fall, but now you home your sights in on Rollin in the back, and he's doing damage. Moosh was able to get by, but it's not going to be enough, and that will be the round going the way of Kinguin.
And the instant rebuy is going to come in for United now. Not exactly sure if they had enough money to get Ace on the AWP, at least for utility. That might be a question. But nonetheless, a buyer that's going to be able to come in. And they will not. Ace is going to be on the C-set 74, 75 if you will. 3-2 is going to be the scoreline. Taking mid-control now in quick pace will be United.
Yeah, Rollins got to be careful here. No one really in a great position. They've just boosted up Mouse, so now he is going to be there to try and help out. They spot him. Drops the molly, but they might try chase him through it. They decide against that. Still damage done. They managed to get Relics out in towards middle as well. If you recall, there was only Ralin here. He's tried to take up position. He has Meniz to try and bail him out. The old bait and switch. Meniz gets their attention, and then Ralin's there to put the nail in the coffin. Or vice versa. Looks like it's going to be an A play, though, and this is where Taz resides. He has been an utter devil at this A bomb site. He's got Meniz with him. Relics falls down in mid. That's one of the prongs in this 3-pronged attack. Dropped from the equation. They're desperately trying to push on in. They have so many bodies to try and get past, and they still haven't even discovered Taz yet. Meniz is just tearing them limb from limb. And while Moose dances back, he's not ready for Taz, but that's going to be a big whip. And now we're into a 2-on-2. 13 HP between them. Reitz is in the back.
And he has the nade as well now.
Oh, that's a rip. Oh, maybe it's not.
2 HP, 2 straight dinks. This is still possible.
Oh, he's a lot to do, and not much to do it with, sadly. He is going to fall, and that will be the round. Once again, going to be going the way of Kinguin. Successful retake from them.
Yeah.
Still a little bit bittersweet, because you had a few moments where the bomb didn't need to go down. You know, it could have been a much cleaner round from Kinguin, but a round is a round at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Going to tie things up 3-3. It doesn't bode too well. It feels like, you know, Taz missing a few shots now.
Yeah.
Think about how electric he's been. Don't want to let things start to get in his head.
But otherwise, or on the other side of things, like the AWP on Meniz is looking strong again, right? He had an insane, and also was one of the main reasons for the very one-sided first half on Nuke. And if he gets up and running on Cash, we all know how dominant an AWP can be, because he can play basically all 3 bomb sites. He can just rotate in and around, and no one can really kind of read what he's going to do and where he's going to have that front spawn. So Kinguin decide to take a pause. even though they wander around, just to make sure everyone's on the same page. They know how to react and when to react when something comes their way. eUnited on the other side of things going to be on an eco, going to be on the full buy next round. So for now, for them, it's just to limit the economy of the opposition and potentially get a bomb down. 2 kills in a bomb plant would be perfect for them in this round. But he's already now gapping the smoke. I think Dapper taken out. A big start for the Poles.
This should be a clean round as well, and it is. That's going to be good for Kinguin to start to build up some cash. Just Ace left alive. You don't imagine he gets anything done?
No.
Indeed, he does not. So Kinguin going to now be taking the lead up 4-3. That buy comes back in for eUnited. Pretty critical at Kinguin to start to keep some of these rounds clean and out. You know, you've started to take the lead. You've started to build up a lead. Now you want to start to have your economy follow through on the back of it.
Also have the AK-47 picked up on Mouse. That always can do a lot of damage. Kind of curious why maybe if they switch the economy a bit, Taz could have had a drop weapon and then had full bunny to buy utility, because now Taz is going to be without utility while 3 of his teammates, and Minis definitely with enough money to drop. So that's kind of a blunder a bit for Kinguin there. Taz with no nades whatsoever. Slow start for both teams. Vying for that mid control. Relics will be the first one out. Rallen spots at least some aggression, calling that the vent is now broken, and there's a possibility of them pushing in there. Good flash around white box. Relics will find him. And now they're going to go for the B split after initial presence mid.
Barreling in. Now's the reason to try and do what they can, and that's going to be burnt down incredibly low. Does now have Manise up in heaven to try and bail him out of this situation. Players all around though, and Dapper will make quick work of the man inside of the bomb site. 2-on-2, Manise and Taz. These are names that we've brought up time and time again, and Taz does manage 1 kill. So Ace left in a 1-on-2. All 3 of these players, names that we've been highlighting, saying that if they step up, that team could take it. Now we get to see how that pans out. Ace inside of the bomb site, waiting. Gonna try and push into CT, but Manise holding the angle. Able to pick him up, no problem. Defuse will come in, and Kinguin once again another successful retake. They've seemed very impressive in these scenarios.
One of the things I have to mention as well is the way that Mouse kind of plays that with the AK-47. So not only does he get 2 frags for his own death, but he also buys the team a lot of time so they can kind of get in positions. Yes, when Ace planted the bomb, he got the bomb down in the first 10 seconds, but that was more because Kinguin wanted to have the perfect angles for coming into that retake 2v1. But Mouse buying so much time and getting 2 frags in a defensive setup where he's pushed back by Molotovs and smokes and losing his teammate early on. It might not seem like a lot on the scoreboard, but it's a very important factor to how this round actually ends up playing out.
Yeah, well, most definitely. Now they're going to just try and go back to basics, back to a fast B play. Now, if all else fails, you can always counter a rush B to at least provide some interesting results. Testing the waters here. Best case scenario is success. Worst case is maybe, I don't know, they get the bomb down, and everyone's a bit sad. They're going to go running into the gunfire. Oh, maybe they don't even make it to the bomb site. Maybe that's the worst case scenario. That certainly seems to be the case right now. Kinguin moving on to a 6th. That buy comes back in for eUnited here. And one thing I wanted to touch on quickly was that previous round. See, I thought that was going to be an eUnited round when they push B and get that bomb down. Just because of, you kind of look at how Kinguin are electing to play mid. You have Manise and Z, but it's very easy to smoke someone off there. You saw he didn't really play another round at all. And I think it's Rallen playing highway, but you notice he was kind of left with Taz as the only guy nearby. Taz had no utility, if you remember. So he was just left completely to his own devices on highway. He was the first man to fall, and that's why, we kind of saw the round transpire the way that it did. if they'd gone to A, if that was the the one decision they did differently, you run into one guy and he doesn't have any utility. That's a round win right there. So
Yeah.
just sort of luck of the cards really for them in that decision to head towards B.
Doesn't work out in the end. But then again, a lot of things in life. Get started well, Harry, and then somehow it just all falls to pieces.
You're staring at me really intently when you say that. Are you
Yeah.
like just trying to say that's me?
No.
Things started out well, and now just look at me. It's all gone downhill. Here's the play out towards mid-risk. And tell you what, this was looking like it might have gone downhill, but they've been able to get out and over that Molotov, past the nades. They've taken a hefty bit of damage in the process, and that's going to make those M4s that much more lethal. But they have at least secured a foothold over here in mid.
Yeah, sometimes when it just goes downhill, just bring a pair of skis and it'll be fun. Just ride it.
Ride the wave.
Yeah.
Just embrace the descent into chaos.
Yes, exactly. That's what I always do, Harry.
Well, speaking of descent into chaos, that's what they say bomb site is right now, with Taz going down aggressively. Rallen looking to try and be the magic man that turns this round on its head for Kinguin.
That's such a nice timing peek because they just placed down the Molotov. No one is going to expect him to peek out, so he gets 2 frags for free. And makes this a 3v3. The question is, do they want to go for it with 2 kits? I kind of feel like they can. No ops to retake. So they can also take their sweet time controlling the different areas. Flash going to come in, and 2 players retaking from main, and then Rietz with all the utility taking a lot of attention from short. The question is, Relics, will he hit this shot? Molotov pushing him back. He won't. The fire will burn him, but will it be too late? That's a question. So much time being burned off the clock. And Moose will get the frag, and this is the round gone. There's no time.
Yeah, and this is where things could get a little bit scary. You say there was no time, and we've been hanging around with Tommy a lot, or Lurpus. He's a businessman. He knows time is money.
Yes.
So this is an important round for... I don't even know where I'm going with that. The joke really derailed.
I was really hyped for that one.
I was trying to work in like the art of the deal, like
oh yeah.
Like going to try and say how he got involved in that. I don't know. And then relate that to trading somehow. It would have worked. Like that, all the framework's there. It just needs to be fleshed out. But let me tell you,
that's why stand-up comedians write down their material, Harry.
Well, speaking of, I don't know, getting the flesh out, Reitz has just completely annihilated Dapper over towards that B bomb site there, and now eUnited 4 players up. What is the play here?
I mean, he's still alive with the orb, as long as he is that. Got confidence. Both in the same position right now, but the teams are getting dangerously close. Only going to be 1 for Taz, and now the rest of the team having to retake once again 3v3, the same scenario as last round. That nade might change things. Dazzle down to 3 HP. Very close to getting that frag, but don't get it in the end. And now Ace surely going to hold down this angle.
Well, there's the shot on Aralen.
Yeah, now they're just going to save. They should save in this one.
Could have been such a different round if they landed the slam dunk.
Yeah, in that situation, it gets kind of scary, right? Because then you take Dazzle, who's on the back of the bomb side, you take him out. Maybe Ace then switches his position, and then now have main position to come in, and it's a 3v2. That nade not landing perfectly, pretty much this was the decider of the round. eUnited now coming back into the game.
Yeah, should have guys on Kinguin. Maybe Taz should have paid more attention to Pash's London school and learned his trigonometry to get that nade lined up perfectly, but not meant to be.
Do you learn trigonometry in the London school? That's the question. I thought it was only like a language program.
Yeah, but it's all in there, isn't it? Maths is just a language.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. Math is just a language to explain physics.
We're really bridging the gap between what it means to talk about video games and what it means to talk about the inner workings of society, Risk. And I just think, we should abandon that pursuit and just go back to talking about the game. Kinguin up 6-5. And Orp out over on the side. Actually, either side right now. He's going to be donning them.
Rallen's position here is insane. He hears them step in A main. Calls this to Manise. And for now, he's just content with holding this angle. He knows as long as they don't push in and start executing on A, this is going to be stoked with at least a free frag. He gets a double as well. Such a nice play. He's still alive. This round is already over. Rallen single-handedly, with a boost-up position, wins that round. Such a big difference. Just getting those 2 frags, staying alive, keeping map control. That's the thing, right? Because it's not just 2 frags. It's so much more than that. Kinguin going to be on 7 unless a miracle happens for Moose and Dapper. It's definitely possible. As Rallen goes down, but instantly the refrag comes in. Mouse with the free frag onto Dapper, and 7 rounds for Kinguin now. Slight lead. Double up setup though. Okay, Harry.
Yeah, that's going to be an interesting change. And we mentioned how this would be a close game. It has been that to a T right now. But this investment from eUnited does not inspire that much confidence. 3 rifles in play, couple of CZs. It's the utility that they're going to be lacking. So we might see a bit of a faster play with those 2 smokes and 3 smokes, rather. I want to say what? 3 flashbangs as well. Don't have my glasses on, and I'm very blind.
This is going to be the smoke mid play, and then it's going to be the full-on A execute, I think.
Oh yeah, Risk has looked into his crystal ball. And that is what he has foretold. Right now, it's going to be barreling out from Squeaky into the wrath of Taz. He's going to tear them limb from limb. Manise over on quad. Doesn't spot anyone just yet. They've started to cower away. They're not looking too fond of this A-bomb site anymore. Dazzle dealt with down in mid. Just leaving Ace and Relics left alive. 2v5. Don't fancy their chances here, Risk.
Not really. Mini's missing that shot, yes, but Taz is still here, and he's definitely fired up in these last couple of rounds. We'll get the final frag. The idea behind their strategy is basically, okay, you have a couple of players with CZs and then a couple of players with AKs. You place your most valuable players on the anchor position on the middle part of the map, and then if the CZ players get an opening from that door push, then you kind of go in for the pincer and do the A split. If they don't, you still have a couple of AKs alive, so you can still get something out of the round. But when the first 3 players just instantly get shot down by Taz, it's very hard to do anything around it because they didn't really gain any information apart from we know Taz is on that bomb site. They already knew that. And now it's going to be the B play. The B push, Mouse taking a shot to the face, but damage being dealt. P250 in hand, going to spray away, he gets even more. Riyad's answering in as well. And last man standing will be Dazzle, but he will be dazed and confused after that one. Completely demolished.
This is where though some of the cracks might start to emerge for eUnited, and that kind of lack of experience could shine through a bit. It's the resilience in the slog when you start to have, you know, rounds just start to build up against you. That's when you really start to see the boys separate out from the men, as it were.
Kinguin on 9 with the potential of double digits in the first half. Nice nade onto Dazzle. 50 HP, just shaving away. And Rallen very quick to use all his utility. With 6,400 on the bank account, you can be absolutely sure that he bought fully up. If not, that would be very, very stupid. So I'm definitely sure he did. But already now, 120 into the round, he spent almost everything.
Yeah, he's made it rain down in mid with his dollars, but of course last round of the half he can definitely do that. Relic's going to be pushing on in. Any issues does now leave him high and dry. That's where Manise comes in, holding on to middle. Smoke going to rain on down. Very big gap in that, and he's going to go pushing through. He didn't spot anyone on the cross, so knows that no one's holding it right now.
Yeah, it's probably just a fake smoke, and that's the question, right? If the CTs know about that, because there's not a lot of focus on that smoke, though. Makes you wonder a bit. It's going to be the B-split again. Mouse ready with the AWP. Doesn't find the first one. It's going to be Ace, and now Riyad's on the back of the site.
Well, Daft, and Ace going to go and annihilate everyone on this push on in. Manise, nice shot to manage a bit of a delayed trade onto Ace. 3 versus 4 in this retake. Kinguin have been so good at these time and time again, they've been able to make these retakes work. There's Manish in with a second. Are we going to see history repeat itself? Manish on with a third. And he's going to keep pushing on in. Now Rowland from the heavens continues this assault. They managed to find Manish as Dazzle has to 1v3. He's got to step up now. We want Razzle with our Dazzle, and he's going to get it done. eUnited managing a 6th round at the very end on the back of a sick 1v3 from that man on your screen right now. He's earned that sip of water at halftime. This is going to keep getting closer and closer as we head down the stretch.
This last one as well, one bullet. Of course, thanks to the half ending. Just looks so clean.
Yeah, it always makes you feel like so good whenever you land it, but then you realize I can only actually fire one bullet here.
Yeah.
So all it has to do is hit the head. But, you know, let's not steal his thunder. Fantastic stuff in the 1v3.
Definitely.
And now just 3 rounds between these two teams. This is going to live up to being a close game. eUnited, they just need the pistol. A couple of Anticos, they're back all tied up. Admittedly, if Kinguin find the pistol and then the Anticos, they're going to start to pull ahead here in this second half.
Yeah, only time will tell between these two teams. Talking a bit about it, about the game. And you never know, usually that position right there, that's something that normal, like people, you look at him and, oh, okay, he looks defeated. He's not looking in shape for the next half, but some of these players in Kinguin, they're very hard to read on their kind of like body language and everything. That could just mean that, oh, okay, I'm ready to go. Where normally, if I look like that, I'm done. Like, I'm not ready to go anywhere.
Well, here's the pistol round anyway. They're stacking up outside of B-Risk, Kinguin. They're going to look to try go for the classic B rush. Now, Kinguin have had decent success with this on go for the faster plays if you think back to their time on Nuke. The barreling on in.
Oh, okay.
Up. Stuck over in checkers. It's going to fall now. It's Moose left to try and buy some time for these rotations. And I tell you what, everyone's already arrived. Mao's in a 1v3, and that bomb dropped. Minute and 15 seconds left, so he's got time, but he doesn't have the bomb or any utility. Trapped down beneath heaven. In the depths of hell, and while he's good for one, the trade is there straight away. That is going to be the pistol round secured by eUnited.
Yeah, Moose there in that situation, just because of the very aggressive setup they have in B, they spot the enemy pretty early, so he can just rotate in and be in the perfect position for that B take. So effectively, there are 3 players on the B bomb side when the hit actually comes, and that's exactly what you want. Moose there, very nice awareness, utilizing the knowledge from his teammates to perfection. And now, as we said before, like this pistol round, a few anti-ecos, boom, 9-9, all tied up. Oh, okay, Rietz goes down. 29 HP taken away from him. Secondary nade lands on Relics, does the same. So an even trade damage-wise.
Yeah, they're playing a game of HE dodgeball down here in mid. Kinguin yet to aggress. They've got one smoke to try and work with, but getting past Relics here going to be a bit of an issue. They do have the Deeg on Reitz and Mouse to try and dispatch of him. MP9, of course, nothing but ideal for these sort of anti-eco rounds, although he's going to get brought down to 10 HP, forced away.
He stays alive, that's the most important part.
Now we can see Kinguin turning their attention back here towards B. Will they be ready for Moose, though? He's lurking in the checkers, he's playing chess, and he's going to emerge. Manages one out of ammo. It's a bit of an awkward fight. The flash is raining in. Moose. Oh, going to get knifed by Rowland. There's some money made. They're going to be happy with that. Anything he can get with the UMP now is going to be fantastic, but it won't manage anything. 8-9. eUnited, one away from equalizing this out. And let's not forget Risk. Let's not forget what's on the line in this best of 3. The loser is eliminated from DreamHack Open Montreal. The winner will be going through to play versus Red Reserve later on. For Kinguin, that means a shot at revenge if they manage to get that.
Exactly. Everything's on the line right now for these boys. Both teams struggling quite to find themselves in their respective rankings. Kinguin in Europe and also in Poland, as we talked about so much about VP and AGO, all these 3 good teams, and eUnited, an upcoming team looking to cement their place, looking to show that they deserve invites like this one. They deserve to play on stages like this, not just limited to online play as they have been in the past. Two interesting storyline and two great teams in a close game. This one surely not going to be close as it's a full eco for Kinguin.
Yeah, that round is clean. And that's exactly what eUnited needed. Now, tied up. This is exactly as we prophesized. We're going to be heading in to the first bye round for Kinguin since moving on to their CT side. And this is now their time to try and put a stop to the momentum. eUnited have started to accrue, starting to get back to that form we saw them in the first half.
Dapper, aggressive into mid, throws a deep smoke. He can play around this. Gets spammed a little bit too. Anti-push position for now. Moose finds the first one. They're not going to count the secondary player, surely. Are they even going to find the first frag? That's the question. Moose with the double. They can't take him out. And Dapper here as well. They nade out Moose, but Dapper he still has that mid control. So, map control advantage for eUnited, even though it's a 3v3.
See, they had that bait and switch set up. You almost wish that Moose, you know, had he known he was going to die to the nade, maybe didn't throw that smoke in just to try and get them to push up. But it doesn't matter because Dapper's got aggressive. He's well and truly in the back line here. And he's going to be getting so much information. We need to start to see this rotation come through from Ace now as players have been spotted. Dapper manages one. Dazzle holds his own. It's going to fall at the hands of Manice. It's the bomb drop toward main that's going to start to cause Kinguin so many problems. Ace is still so far away, though, and Dapper has to buy time.
Might just have the perfect timing for this. Slips in the window. They have no idea. They heard him burn. Didn't hear him pick up the bomb.
Well, they'd be ready for this wrap back
No,
round. Ace
they're not.
certainly is not.
Free
There's
frag,
the,
and now he has the free plant.
There we go. He's going to go charging in towards B. They have no clue what just happened. Dapper's left on a lengthy rotation. 47 HP. Manice, how does he want to play this? He's going to go and play things passively.
Single flashbang on the CT and a kit, while Manice has pretty much nothing. But he does have the AK. A couple of body shots and this round is done.
Oh, that's just such a horrid plant spot to try and deal with. There's
Yeah,
so many angles that
he has
could
to
be
go for
planted
the flash and then go for the straight stick, the defuse maybe. Let's see. Goes for the fake. Doesn't see anything. Manice knows he's not on the bomb, so can just play this for time now. I don't think there's time, no. Very well played by Manice. Wins that clutch, even though he dies in the end. Still a 3K and a clutch win for him. And you see Dapper being very vocal about this. That was not what they wanted from this round.
No, definitely not. And I think, you know, Ace taking a very, very long time to rotate. They had the information that all three players were over towards A.
It is a very small window that he just slips in to get that free frag. Of course, that's a bit lucky. But then again, that's CS sometimes. 90% skill, maybe 10% luck. There's a good old Fort Minor song about that. But there's too many ingredients to remember them all.
Yeah, right. No, I'm always like that. It's fine.
40% power will, I think.
Yeah, there's some other stuff in there. Some of it's skill, some of it's luck.
Okay.
But tell you what, for Alan, it's just homing bullets, apparently. He's going to tag Alex through the... Ooh, they're both doing it to each other. Going to trade damage for damage, but nothing done just yet. Now, eUnited winning that previous round by this... sorry, Kinguin winning that round. eUnited keeping one man alive. Their economy's now been brought down to its knees, as has Kinguin's, though, with everyone dying. So this is a massive round for either team. It's effectively going to be a 2-for-1.
Oh, Manice. Another nice opening. He has been just a guarantee for impact frags, even though he's only on +1 so far on this map. Most of his frags have been very important, round winning and round opening as well. Dazzle slowly pushing forward. Might become a big, big problem now. A thorn in the side of Kinguin. He has so much map control. And when he decides to push, he's going to have a good flank, but they're going to go for the B split.
Yeah, now we're going to be relying on Ace to hold this down on his own, and nothing gets done. Moose tucked away. I don't think they're going to anticipate a third man here, so this could be it. There's 15 seconds left on the clock, and Moose, he's got to buy time. This would be absolutely incredible. Moose, 1v4. Manages that first frag on a reach. There's 7 seconds. They have to try and deal with him, and Rarlan just going to get it in there in time. You could see it almost starting to crumble down around Kinguin. The pressure was on. They were all rushing back to that bomb site to try and deal with the Moose that had gone unnoticed. The Moose in the room.
Such an unfortunate timing for Relics and Ace there. Like, they're both caught within 2 seconds off guard. If that push had came 2 seconds earlier, 2 seconds later, they would have been ready.
Well, plus as well, it's like one of the easiest jumps in the game to land, but also like one of the most frustrating to mess up is just when you accidentally don't get up onto the B bomb site, and that's what happened to Ace, right? He gets caught mid-jump, then he just has to try and make the best of it, so him and Relics kind of line up. They're both just trapped down at the headshot position. There's a reason it's dubbed that. Yeah.
And now, a full eco for eUnited. Kinguin with a chance of bringing themselves on 12. And bolstering their economy a little bit. Almost brought down 2 players around 1,000, and now Taz will get a bit more as a bonus for his opening. Not going to check the corner, so Dazzle will find 1. And he has to be the linchpin in this round here for eUnited if they want anything out of this. AK-47 in hand. Sees 1 on top. Finds the frag. Secondary one surely to come in. They know his position now, though. He finds another. Dazzle not going to get the 4th. And now it's all on Moose. 1v2, but with a USP, it's not a great chance.
Can Moose continue the legacy that Dazzle started in this round? He's retrieved an AK, and oh my goodness, he's also retrieved a nade. And then a bullet, so he caught a lot of things he would have rather not have caught from Kinguin. It's going to be 12 rounds right now for the Poles. They're starting to pull ahead once again. It was all tied up.
And this has to be the round, right? This has to be the round where eUnited comes back into the game. If they don't do it now, VP on 13, they're going to get economy as well. They have a double up setup. Everything is invested. 1 is even glass cannon on Ace. This has to be the round.
This is scary, though, because you see Manise with that Mac 10. He's going to be very, very fast. And there's no armor on Ace, no head armor on anyone over on eUnited. So that Mac 10 is just going to be devastating to these players. Not entirely convinced that now is the best time for eUnited to be moving into this double up setup, but let's see if it works out for them.
Usually a bit of a desperation play for most teams when things aren't really working out, especially on the CT side. You get the double up out, and you can always see that if there's utility behind both players, it's something that they've been planning for a lot of rounds. If one of the players has a glass cannon and one of the players is missing utility, it's because, okay, we want something different in our setup. And this is it. Question is, this is going to be enough. Kinguin lining up, setting up for that split A. And here we go. Mac 10 is probably going to be the one to run in first. Going to get some information, but Flash is holding them back for now.
The utility's rained in at perfect timings as well to delay this play from Kinguin. It's actually gone ahead and done more than that. It's forced them away from this A bomb site. Mao's going to fall down in mid. Oh, they're not given any opportunity to trade this out. Doesn't want to risk overstaying his welcome as well. Instead, dives down the vents. 2 players here inside of B. One of them is that secondary AWP on Dapper. He's got to show his worth with it. They put a lot of money into him on this round. And he's just found a big kill onto Taz. Needs this, though, really. He's pressuring him. The lack of the head armor going to start to punish him, and he will fall. Oh, Dazzle's been a star time and time again, and he's dropped the bomb. That's the round all said and done. There's no way back into this round for Kinguin.
Just don't have to peek him now. Moose will stay back. 10 to 12 with a 1 player surviving on both teams. So economy not going to be great for any of them. And now just brings us into this kind of deadlock scenario. The first team to kind of string together 2 rounds will be the team to take over the momentum in the dying moments of this third map. Nice little round there by Ace, definitely showing that the investment was worth it. And Kinguin on the other side of things, interestingly enough, not going to go for the force buy here around Manise. So Manise can have a full set of the rest of the team, saving money, so they can get a full buy next round where Manise is going to be on either Desert Eagle or C set.
Yeah, Kinguin do have a little bit of breathing room to work with. They can try stuff like this. I mean, Manise is certainly showing he can do the work of a couple of people if needed with this AWP. And Relic's going to find that out the hard way. He takes one to the dome. That's the A bomb site. Open up almost. They just have to get past Ace, who's doing a great job of staying alive right now. They can't find him. He's hiding in the smoke. He's toying with his food. And now he's here in with a third. The MP9 picking up frags aplenty.
4 frags with the MP9 in such an important round. Oh, there we go.
These fist bump counts we've been cut into are so tense because I just really hope that no one messes it up. It feels horrible to see.
Yeah.
It actually physically hurts me. Like, I wince a little inside.
I'm more nervous about the fist bumps than about the actual game, you know?
That's the reason you're here.
I know all of these guys.
Just
like they have a
dude.
very solid level of Counter-Strike, but the level of fist bump, not exactly the same rate, you know? That's what happens when you specialize in one thing, Harry. Then your skills in all the remaining areas that just go downhill.
But a jack of all trades is a master of nothing. That's what they say. Alex and Ace able to find 2 between them. Oh, Dazzle now joins the kill feed. Ace with a nice quick shot, but Dazzle allow Mouse to find a trade. 1v3, bomb on his back, minute and 15 seconds, and players walking into his crosshair. You can't give Mouse these sorts of frags. He's going to manage all of them. And Kinguin, a 13th, as they get absolutely annihilated.
And that's a beautiful round right there from Kinguin. Probably going to change the pace of this entire game now, 1v3. Once again, we saw Taz winning that 1v3 as well. That spurred them on last time around. Mouse can do the exact same thing. I kind of wonder if one of the teams might have pulled a technical time, or not a technical, a tactical timeout. It's pulled out by Kinguin, and I really, really like this. Winning such a massive round, both putting your teammates into a position where you can kind of take the tempo down again, just make sure everyone is on the same page, everything's on point, but also let your opponents just sit there and think about how they just messed up a round. Can mess with a lot of players mentally if they're not that strong, if they're not used to playing on the big stage. Some people will kind of start an argument in the middle of that timeout because, oh, why didn't you check that corner? And that's definitely not where you want to go. 13-11 now, eUnited. Pushed back economy-wise, money-wise, in this round as well. Relic's messing up the smoke. It's a tough start. The only light point is that Minis is only on a C set. So there's some possibility there. This could be a very tough round to lose. eUnited backs against the wall. And that's where the beast is most dangerous, Harry.
That is true. They say you should never back an animal into a corner. This is where King going to be fighting tooth and nail.
Let's see if the Moose goes under that category.
The Moose is most certainly loose.
Can be a very dangerous animal.
Oh, they definitely can. I'm just guessing. Most of my knowledge of Moose comes from Brother Bear. But here we go, pushing towards the B-bomb site anyway. Relics with a Deeg has opened things up. Still so much more to do. But oh, he's going to manage a second. Okay, he's been pretty quiet this game, but now he's had 2. And this is when eUnited need him to show up the most. They've gone running by Dapper, who is good for 1. But now all the pressure falls onto one man. It's Ace.
And he's long range with the MP9.
It's not going to be easy, but that lovable bowl cut that we've all come to adore now has to try and keep eUnited here in this third map. The MP9 up close. We know he's a bit of a hero with it. We saw him dominate with this weapon just rounds ago, and there's the first kill. Ace has gone and got it done. 2 quick kills, and eUnited aren't going to give this over to Kinguin just yet. 12-13.
And they give him the best opportunity there because they have the AKs. They are better on mid to long range, but they're just playing so defensively that he'll be allowed to go in, get the first frag, 34 HP on the guy on the left flank, and then win the duel with the guy on the right flank as well. Ace just makes it happen. MP9 in hand, and that's just beautiful. 12-13, Harry. And now the money on Kinguin's side is all the way in the dumpster. After buying this, there's nothing left.
I mean, this is the case for either team, and this is such a critical juncture in the game. A loss here, and then having to eco or force buy into the next is just devastating. So for one of these teams, this is where their journey could be coming to a close, and it all resides on the back of the economy. Manish to open things up. Now, Relix has to sit back and watch the rest of his team try and stay in this round. Ace and Dazzle between them, putting up a couple of kills. Dapper with the MP9. They know that both players are over here towards A. That bomb heads back into the relative safety of this B bomb site, but Manish is picked off from the fray. How's Rallen left alive?
2v2. Post-plant scenario. Rallen's position here is godlike. And yes, Dapper might be great with the MP9 as well, but it's now all on Ace. Jumps down, fakes it, takes the fight as well. That's such a well-played scenario from Rallen. 14 on the board for Kinguin. Taz very focused right now. No extra energy to play around. It's just eyes on the target, eyes on the prize.
I mean, this is what we were speaking about in terms of the economy. It could have been the case for either one of these two teams, but for eUnited, sadly, they're in the worst scenario now, being on not only on the CT side where everything's more expensive, but they were a round down to begin with. They've had to force buy into what could be the map and series point round for Kinguin, but what an opener by Relix. He hasn't been doing too great with the rifles, but my goodness, give this man a Deeg, and he will put up numbers for you.
Yeah, he should just play Deagle every single round.
You know what they say, give a man a Deeg and he can get a kills. I don't know. I was going to try and link it into the, you know, teach a man to fish. Yeah, you know.
I get you.
Yeah, once again, framework for the joke was there. Needs some work. Got to start writing these down, Risk. But here's Relix. He's been writing down names. He's been taking names of Kinguin. Now he's got to start to tick them off his list. He's opened up with Rallen.
Second one coming in now. You kind of feel him right now. Like he's on point.
Yeah, he really
he's
had
dialed
to
in.
the Deegs.
Slowly but surely taking map control in middle. Now grouping up for this A split hit. Kinguin.
This is scary though. Ace and Dazzle have no idea. They're all the way up through mid, and that's Ace fallen. Alex, couple of missed shot. Dazzle has to step up with the MP9, but this gun's been so kind to eUnited time and time again. 2 kills on Dazzle there. Manish and Mouse left alive. 2v3 with that bomb down. They set up in the post plants. Now, let's not forget, we've seen both of these step up in clutches over and over for Kinguin. And now they need it more than ever. Manish bringing in the pain, and Moose left in a 1v2. Time ticking it down, and that's going to be map and series point going the way of Kinguin. They stand now on the finish line, about to go ahead and send eUnited home and secure their spot, their chance for revenge and redemption versus Red Reserve. That's a lot of R's. It's R-rated. That might be coming up later today.
Plow has been equipped and, well, turns the Moose into a roadkill.
It's pretty
graphic.
Yeah, it's a pretty.
To be honest, like, Canada is pretty wild, so I guess that happens a lot here.
Canada's great.
Yeah, imagine going out in the nature of Canada. Like right now, we're in the safe space of Montreal. Everything's nice. Every single person we meet, really nice. Imagine going out in the wilderness, Harry.
It's gonna be great.
Where there only are
we can do that later today.
Moose and bears and wolves and stuff. That's scary.
That is scary, Risk.
Can't fight a moose.
I don't know. Taz would love to beg to differ. Kinguin.
Taz would probably fight a moose. And he would
could
probably
see him
win
wrestling
as well.
Down at the ground, yeah. But here we go, 15-12. One round is all Kinguin need. And look at this buy from eUnited. It is dismal to say the least. They have to try and get the job done with a couple of CZ to Deagle up on Moose. Dazzle on the Famus. It does not inspire confidence. One man who hasn't had the game of his life, hasn't really had the series of his life, is Relix. But he's started to land a couple of nice shots in these last few rounds. They need that now more than ever, and there he is once again, chiming in with a frag onto Manish. Pressure's on for Dazzle. So many players coming his way, and he's going to find a double. It's going to get helped out by Mouse, admittedly. But now the pressure's on. 2-on-2, Dapper and Relix. That's 5. There's Rallen in the back line. It's Relix. So much on his plate. The young gun, 1v2, steps out into the open, has found Rallen, needs just one more kill under the old-timer of Taz to keep eUnited in this, and he's going to do it. eUnited, they're not ready just yet. 13-15. Relics is getting warmed up. Taz looks disappointed. He doesn't know what just happened there.
That was just a ghost train of a bullet right straight to the face. Just knocks him on. That was amazing. Can we see that again? That first one is pretty standard, but this second frag coming in here. I would be so angry if I was Taz in that situation. You can't do anything about that. His aim is just completely on point. 3 AKs now for the T side. As we said before, time and time again, the economy for both teams is terrible because it's so back and forth. So 2 MP9s on the CT side and 2 C-sets on the T side. Around the same amount of utility between the two teams here. Round number 29. Could this go all the way? That's a question. Rallen making his way towards mid. Slowly once again setting up for this A play. They have gained highway control.
It's Taz moving up there. The monumental thing for eUnited right now is if they win this, they reset Kinguin and could pull it back to OT. But Taz wants them to do anything but. He's looking to try and haul Kinguin across the finish line. Relics, this time only good for one. An ace holding close, going to get dropped. It's Dapper and Moose. And that's all eUnited have now to try and keep them in this. They fought so hard to get to this point, to take us this far. Dapper charging in, caught between a rock and a hard place. It's Moose with Rallen flanking from behind. This is all said and done, and Kinguin will be closing the series out in a 2-1 fashion. They send eUnited home. Kinguin will be out for revenge later versus Red Reserve.
Yeah. Luckily, it's not that far for the eUnited boys. They're still from here, the home-time heroes, but of course, always sad to see them get eliminated. A really promising team for the next couple of years in the NA scene. Promising talents as well, but not enough today here to beat Kinguin.
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited to see what the future holds there for this team. Maybe not even for this team as it is right now, but just for these guys. Where do they go? Do they keep building on this 5-man team? Do we see them kind of maybe try to ascend into other rosters? And for Kinguin, it was a good showing as well, all things considered. Taz had some very promising performances. He looked fantastic. And, the rest of the guys really falling into place around him. I think Rallen and Manish definitely need a mention in that as well. They looked great.
Yeah, definitely looking much better than day one, but then again, they have their mice today, didn't have those yesterday. So that can be the slight difference here. Imagine if they didn't have that gear, this could have potentially gone the other way.
Yeah,
it's only slight percentages. Most
definitely. We're going to give this one back over there to the guys on the desk to break down this barn burner of a series.
Barn burner is one thing to call it, Harry, and you guys can continue your conversation about going either way. Let's talk about this matchup and how it turned out to be just so long. I'm just asking the real questions around here.
That's why you get paid the big bucks. I mean, eUnited, I think they just started off super strong on overpass. I think that's really what prolonged this thing. I think second map was always going to be Kinguin's. I think both of us were in agreement there. They were just much better on that map, and eUnited prolonged the inevitable a little bit on their CT side. They got up to I think 9 rounds in total. And I think on Cash, Kinguin made some mistakes. I think it could have actually been quite a bit easier. I think the first pistol and early lead went to eUnited, but from that point on, fairly convincing, I think.
Yeah, I mean, again, like both teams took their map pick, which could be somewhat expected. I mean, particularly this overpass game. What you saw was crazy from eUnited. Their top fragger had 18 kills. Their bottom fragger had 17 kills. So that's one of those situations where you've actually had your full 5-man lineup come out, which is something they struggled to do in the past to have that consistency. They had it on overpass. They played really well there. That T side, they made some really good calls, like that long A push that we were talking about. Just really great stuff there. But then, yeah, Nuke, 14 rounds on the CT side from Kinguin, as we're seeing some of that there now. And then on Cash, a pretty scrappy first half. But that second half, I mean, they reset the eUnited economy multiple times in that second half from the T side. Kinguin, again, just showing you that they're really good at working together as a team. Even just the way they finished off the game, the way they were able to get control of Highway, split the A bomb site through door, Highway, A main, and just be so well coordinated with their utility and their trading. And I think that's where the experience, the more consistently prevails, and that's why you see Kinguin being the victor in this series.
You want to talk about some numbers? That's exactly what we're going to do. The Moose was here on his home soil, and he proved just that. Of course,
look at Taz.
Not nearly as impressive as Taz. I think across this entire series, I'm showing 65 frags, 49 kills, or excuse me, 69 frags, 49 deaths. Maybe not, both. Either way, yes, Taz putting on some work there and definitely has done his part. And perhaps we check in with Taz himself, who is standing by. Hello, sir. Congratulations on your win this morning.
Hey, man, thank you for giving me some more frags, man.
Yeah, you know, something about numbers and add them up, this, that, and the
That's
other.
the love, I know. Thank
You got
you
the
so
real
much.
number geniuses to my left. I'm going to let them ask some questions, too.
So how's the team doing now? I know you guys had some issues yesterday with the gear. Not really sure what happened there, but
Yeah.
you know, now it seems like things are starting to get going. You were pretty close to getting a win, in all fairness, yesterday too.
I mean, the thing is that we mostly are working on mental side. I'm trying to talk with the guys to not really worry about the stuff. Don't worry about how they play. Don't worry about some aim duels they will lose. Like they borrow the stuff, you know. I want to thank AGO for borrowing stuff to the guys. It's really nice camaraderie from Polish guys, and you know, it's mostly talking and making them chill and not tilt.
What are the team dynamics like? Obviously, you're, you know, significantly more experienced than everybody else probably combined on that team. So, like, you know, what kind of things have you actually brought into the team that, you know, that you think helped them the most?
I think it's mostly I try to calm them down. I try to give some structure to our practice, to our game, to overall behavior, because it seemed like they lacked this in past teams. They lacked this discipline, you know, and I try to do it, but it takes time. You know, it's really easy to actually get players who are playing on top level for a long time, and they know how to play the game, or when to slow down, when to make things faster. And it's really hard to actually learn people that they need to wait and then not make them scared to make moves when it's important. So I'm mostly trying to do this. We are trying to really say it in a calm way. But when you go to the tournament and you don't have luggage, it's extra hard.
Yeah, it was a pretty rough start to an event, 100%. Dust, do you have any questions pertaining to the game?
No, I was just going to say, you know, obviously, you know, through the Zotac EU and the Zotac Masters, you guys have seemed to pick up your offline form quite a bit from when you first joined the team. I know you've been talking about how you've been trying to instill some discipline and, you know, really try to get this team up to speed on how to compete. You know, what else do you think needs to happen for you guys to be able to kind of, you know, bring Poland back to the forefront of international Counter-Strike?
It's very easy. It's all about the mental side. I believe that, I mean, I saw what the guys can do. They are extremely skilled, and they actually know how to move in the game, especially Ryan or Minis, and Mouse and Reese are crazy aimers. It's about their mental side, when they don't tilt, when they should be aggressive, when they should play defensive. So we are working on someone to find someone who can help this side. We recently added a manager who has a background in this, so I'm trying to, you know, get the team around our 5 guys so we can work the side of mental more, and then I think it's sky's the limit. I believe that in Poland it's mostly about your attitude. If you have great attitude, if you work hard, then you can win tournaments.
Very stoic and very eloquently said. Now I have a rather harder hitting question for you, Mr. Taz, and this one comes on the back of exactly what was VP and what has happened at the major, and now that you've obviously stepped away from that lineup a considerable time ago. Looking at it, what are you thinking in terms of that whole breakdown?
I mean, I will be honest with you. This was the worst major in my life. When you wake up and you watch the game and you know that you are not going to be there. I don't even care about stickers. I don't even care about anything else. It was just heartbreaking to watch VP play without me, to not be on the major, you know. And other than that, it's, I don't know, it's nothing to say about. I believe that VP had a really slow amount of practice, and that's it. I don't know what's inside, what's happening inside. I'm not talking with the guys anymore. Yeah, I don't really care anymore.
Yeah, I mean, I could sympathize with that. Pretty well spoken. Look, you did get that win today, therefore you do stay alive here, and we will be seeing you later on. Congratulations, Taz, and we'll see you later, bud. Wow. A little somber moment right there.
Well, listen, he's always one of the better interviews in the scene.
Yeah.
It's been the case for years.
It's never disappointed, not once, and that definitely didn't happen today. And one thing that has never disappointed me either is the Strafe Esports app that that's right, you can grab on the Google Play or Apple Store right now. Download it on your phone, follow along DreamHack Open, and, well, I don't know what else you could do from there other than just keep doing it. What do you got, Tommy?
I don't, I don't really use these apps, so I don't know. I can't really help on that. I help on Snipe. That's my thing.
Okay.
You need to get Dustin in on this.
I like a good app.
All right, nice. Yep, that one works. A good app, a great app. For all intents and purposes, another app that you need on your phone. We're going to be going to a quick break. We come back, we got another elimination best of 3, and you don't want to miss it. It's Imperial and Heroic squaring off here at the DreamHack Open Montreal.